And we are live. I think at least. Let's see who is going to be first to join today. It is Sunday the 2nd, and it is officially the day before our paper 2 exam. Let's see. Guys, are we live? Are we live? Let's see. Are we live? Guys, let me know. Can you hear me? Okay, the TikTok seems to be up. Guys, talk to me in the chat. Check, mic check. Alfie says, why are you doing paper 3? The reason we're doing paper 3 is because this is the same as paper 2, guys, and this is just a particularly good paper. So that's the only reason we're doing a paper 3 exam. Let's see. User 123456 in the chat says, hi, how are you, sir? I'm very well, thank you, mate. I'm very well. How are you? LJ says, you live? Come on. We are indeed. Guys, I'm going to be giving it just a few minutes, giving people a chance to join. Unfortunately, I can't see the YouTube chat at the moment. Let's see. Janu's in the chat says, hello, Janu. Guys, let me know on the YouTube. Can you hear me? For some reason, I can't see the YouTube chat at the moment. That's a little bit funky. Let's see. Is it going to load? Hey, it's loaded. Beautiful. Charlotte 26, welcome. Guys, the plan today, I'm going to be going live twice. I'm going to be live now, 3 till 5, doing a higher paper. And then I'm going to be live as well later, 6 p.m. till 8 p.m., doing a foundation paper. It says just up there. Charlotte 26 says, hello, happy to be back. Welcome. A lot of people asking whether paper 2 is the same as paper 3. Yep, this is exactly the same as paper 2. Maybe I should just make a quick mark there. Same as paper 2. And guys, the reason that we're doing this one is purely because this is a very good paper. It has a lot of the topics which I think are fairly likely to come up tomorrow. It has a few of the topics that already came up in paper 1, and I've taken those questions out, or I should say I've just already written the solutions on there for you guys, because I know some AQA students will be here. As she says, imagine having to do 3 maths papers. Yep, that's how it is, guys. It's not easy. Let's see who is here on the YouTube, guys. Let me know if you're here on the YouTube. We're going to be starting, guys, in just a minute or so. Janu, good to have you. Unknown 8, this is exactly the same as paper 2. That's why we're doing it. I've chosen this paper deliberately because it's going to be very, very good practice. Very, very good practice. Ali says, hey. A says EdXL, that's not the main A, that's a different A, says EdXL, yep, today we are going to be doing EdXL. We did AQA yesterday, 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. and 6 till 8. We're going to do the same again, but today, guys, it's going to be EdXL because that is the most popular. That's the reason I'm doing this ahead of the exams tomorrow. A couple of people asking when we're doing paper 1 again. Because paper 1 is passed, we're not going to be looking at that again this year. It's going to be on next year when we start looking at that again. Quite a few people are asking, do you think paper 2 will be as difficult as paper 1? No, to be honest, guys, I don't. Paper 1 was exceptionally difficult, I would say. So I think it's very unlikely that paper 2 is as difficult. Having said that, of course, it could be as difficult, so we have to prepare as best we can. Okay, guys, it is now 8 minutes past 3, so we're going to get going. Ali said 3:08. Thank you, Ali. Guys, moving on then, we have questions 1, part A, B, and C on the screen. Have a look and see what you can do for anybody who's new. The format here, guys, is basically that I'll give you a little bit of time to do the question, and then I will go through the solution. To anybody who doesn't know, I'm live on TikTok and on YouTube at the same time. We currently have 345 of us on the TikTok and 21 of us on the YouTube. Nice to see a lot of the regulars. Welcome, Charlotte 26. Welcome, Jolie Layoun. Welcome, Shadow Plays back again. Nice to see my friend Smoke Eclipse is back. Guys, everybody, put your answers in the chat to part A. Cheyenne thinks it's N to the 8. Guys, what do we think? Ebba Drouet, good to have you over on the YouTube. Same as you, Pokini or Ponkini. quite a few people thinking that the answer to the first one, part 1a, might be n to the power of 8. Guys, if you said that this was n to the power of 8, congratulations, you are exactly right. This one is going to be n to the power of 8. Now, why is that? That's because when we have a base to a power and we times it by the same base to another power, we add those powers, and 3 plus 5 is going to give us 8. What about this next one, guys? Giving you about 15 seconds to have a look at this, because it has been on the screen for a while now. Ethan Barnes, welcome back, my friend. Welcome, Oppo. Guys, good to have you on. Sherry thinks this one's CD to the power of 3. Alex thinks it's CD to the power of 3 as well. So does Tao. Guys, if you said CD to the power of 3, you are exactly right. Our answer here is going to be CD to the power of 3. Why is that, guys? That's because here we have two bases to powers divided by the same bases to different powers. When we have bases to powers and we divide them by the same base to another power, we subtract the powers. C to the power of 3 divided by C to the power of 2. 3 subtract 2 is going to be 1, so we just have C to the power of 1, which is just C. And then on the D front, we have D to the 4 divided by D to the power of 1. 4 take 1 is going to be 3, giving us our answer, guys, of CD to the power of 3. Congratulations, guys, if you got that one. Moving on now to part C. Guys, drop your answer in the chat for this one as well. See if you can do it. Looking at the chat, Niels Priv says, is this one higher? Yep, I'm going to be doing foundation 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. This first session, guys, is our higher paper for the day. Adam thinks it's 14 over 3. Anaya says 2.8. Guys, let's have a look at part C. This one says solve 5x over 2 is greater than 7. Guys, how do we solve an inequality like this? We solve it just like an equation. We want to get the x on its own. At the moment, the left-hand side is being divided by 2, so we're going to start off by timesing both sides of our equation by 2. We're going to get that 5x is greater than 7 times by 2, which is 14. From there, guys, to get the x on its own, we're going to divide both sides by 5, because at the moment it's being multiplied by 5. We're going to get x is greater than 14 over 5. Now, if you wanted to, you could simplify it, guys, typing it into your calculator. It would, in fact, be 2.8. But here, you don't have to simplify it. You could just leave it as 14 over 5. You're going to get the marks either way. Guys, a few seconds to screenshot this page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to question number 2. Straight in with a 3 marker here, guys. Andy is cycling a distance of 30 kilometers at an average speed of 24 kilometers per hour. And then the question carries on from there. I'll let you guys read it, and then I will go through it. I'm just going to change my music up a little bit. I reckon we'll get some Afro beats on, guys. I reckon some Afro beats today. Whereabouts am I going to find that? Beautiful. Perfect. We're set up, guys. We're set up. Awesome. Welcome on the YouTube chat to everybody who just joined. Hello, A. Hello, Maria. Hello, Libra B. Guys, a lot of the regulars in the house today. It is superb to see everybody putting in the work ahead of paper 2. We also have Mary B in the chat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Couple of people thinking that this one might be 2 hours 35. Couple of people saying 2 hours 55. It is actually not either of those, guys. And I'm going to give you another minute or so, guys, and then I will go through the answer to this one. Just going to change my music again because I didn't find the mix I thought I was finding. Let's go. Can we find it? Maybe I'll do it after this question. Yeah, I'll do it after this question. For now, we'll stick to that stuff. Okay, guys, looking at question number 2. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready, and we'll talk about this one. Question number 2, drop ready in the chat when you're ready. Smoky Clips, welcome. Paige, welcome. Olumaid, welcome. Minos Dragons, welcome. Guys, good to have you all over on the YouTube. Okay, quite a few people dropping an answer in the chat. Let's have a look at this one. This question says that Andy cycles a distance of 30 kilometers at an average speed of 24 kilometers per hour. He then runs a distance of 12 kilometers at an average speed of 8 kilometers per hour. We're asked to work out the total time that Andy takes, giving our answer in hours and minutes. Guys, the relevant formula here is going to be that speed is equal to distance divided by time. However, in this case, we're not working out our speed, we're working out our time. So we're going to rearrange this formula. We're going to start off by timesing both sides by t. We're going to get t times by s equals d. And then to get the t on its own, we're going to divide both sides by our s. We're going to get time is equal to distance divided by speed. Where do we go from there, guys? Let's work out the time taken in part 1 of the journey. In part 1 of the journey, we have a distance of 30 kilometers per hour and a speed of 24. So we're going to do 30 divided by 24. Guys, we do that on the calculator, and we're going to get 1.25. Let me just check that. 30 divided by 24, yep, 1.25. So it's 1.25 hours for the first part. What about the second part, guys? Part 2, well, this time we have a distance of 12 kilometers per hour and a speed of 8. So we're going to do 12 divided by 8, and we're going to get 1.5. Guys, make sure you do that on your calculator. No reason not to. Now, guys, we're going to convert both of these into hours and minutes instead of being in hours. 1.25 hours, guys, that's going to be 1 hour and a quarter of an hour. So it's going to be 1 hour, 15 minutes. So 1 hour, 15 minutes. You could get that 15 by doing 0.25 times by 60 because there's 60 minutes in an hour. And then our 1.5, that's going to be 1 hour and half an hour. So 1 hour and 30 minutes. Working out the total then, guys, we're going to add both of these together. 1 hour plus 1 hour is 2 hours, and 15 minutes plus 30 minutes is 45 minutes. So in total, we're going to have 2 hours and 45 minutes. 2 hours and 45 minutes. Guys, if you got that one, great work. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to question number 3. I'm not going to give you guys too long for this one at all, maybe about 30 seconds or so, and then we are going to go through our answer. NJ, good to have you in the chat. Thank you very much for the comment. For anybody who doesn't know, we actually just passed 6,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is a pretty good benchmark, or pretty good landmark, I should say. I think we just passed 57K on the TikTok as well, which is pretty cool. Question 3 then, guys. I said I wouldn't give you long for this. Let's have a look. It says a number m is rounded to 1 decimal place and the result is 9.4. Complete the error interval for m. What's it going to be, guys? This is going to be an interval which defines the smallest and the greatest that our number could possibly be. What's the smallest number that would round up to 9.4 to 1 decimal place? It would be 9.35. That's less than or equal to m, which is less than, and then to find our upper bound, we're going to simply add on 0.05. We see that on the left-hand side, we have the or equal to, because this actually does round up to 9.4, but on the right-hand side, we don't have the or equal to, because 9.45 would actually round up. The closest it could actually be, or the biggest it could actually be, would be 9.4499999. It's not very practical to write out that number though, guys. So instead, we just do the less than sign and have 9.45. The quick way to do it, guys, is simply to add on 0.05 to find our upper bound and subtract 0.05 to find our lower bound. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this whole page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to question number 4. We have 4 marks up for grabs in this one, in part A at least. I think part B is worth another couple of marks. Guys, let's have a look and see what we can do. I think it's very likely, to be honest, that you get a question like this either tomorrow or in your paper 3. Normally it's in paper 2, a question like this, so it is a pretty likely topic to come up. Tahir said these questions are on both papers. Yep, you are exactly right. Guys, to anybody who's new over on the TikTok, welcome. Good to have you on today. just so you know, we are also live on YouTube at exactly the same time. There's 50 of us on the YouTube. The chat's popping off. We got Olu Maid, we got Ethan Barnes, we got Maria, we got we got Emma Kelly, bunch of the regulars in the house. So if you do want to join on your laptop or whatever, maybe consider joining over there. Quite a few people have been coming over from the TikTok to the channel, which has been pretty cool. Kajia just put in the chat, I switched from TikTok to go to the YouTube. Hey, cool. I shouldn't say that too loud because I don't think it's going to be very good for the algo, but hey ho. It's far more important that everybody can watch in the way that they prefer, so. Ooh. Guys, let me know as well in the chat right now. Can you hear the music that I have playing in the background? And if you can, well, yeah, just can you hear it? Because I've got music playing, but it's supposed to be quiet enough that you guys can't hear it. So Shian says no. Anybody on the YouTube as well? Kajia says no. Oppo says nope. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you replying to that. Thank you. Guys, question number 4. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, NJ. Eris says very faintly I can hear it. Maybe I'll turn it down 1 click in that case. 1 click. Jenna Sheena's ready. Quite a few people are ready for this one. Guys, let's have a look at question number 4. 4 marks up for grabs here. The question says that Maisie knows that she needs 3 kilograms of grass seed to make a rectangular lawn 5 by 9. Grass seed is sold in 2 kilogram boxes. Maisie wants to make a rectangular lawn of 10 by 14 meters. She has 5 boxes of grass seed. Has Maisie got enough grass seed to make a lawn 10 by 14? You must show all your work. And guys, we're going to work out how much grass seed she has, how much grass seed she needs, and based on that, we're going to decide, okay, does she have enough? So first of all, how much does she have? She has 5 boxes, and each of those boxes has 2 kilograms in it. So we can simply do 5 times by 2 kilograms, which is going to give us 10 kilograms. So that's how much she has. How much does she need? Well, we know that she needs to cover a rectangular lawn of 10 by 14 meters. And we know that it takes 3 kilograms to cover a lawn which is 5 by 9 meters. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to work out how many times bigger this lawn is, the second lawn than the first lawn, and then multiply that by the 3 kilograms to work out how many seed we need. So the smaller lawn is going to be 5 times by 9 meters, which is going to be 45 meters squared. So that's the area of the smaller lawn. What about the bigger lawn? That one's going to be 10 times by 14, which is 140 meters squared. So how many times bigger is our bigger lawn than our smaller lawn? Well, we're going to do 140 divided by 45. Let me type that into my calculator. 140 divided by 45. And guys, that is going to give us 3.111, etc., etc. Now, we know that the lawn is 3 times bigger, or 3.111, etc., times bigger. What's that going to mean, guys? It's going to mean that we need 3.1111 times as many grass seeds. So we're going to do 3.111 times by the 3 kilograms that we needed to make the smaller lawn. That's going to be 9.333, etc., etc. kilograms. If we want to, we could just write it as 9.3. So, does she have enough? Yes, she does. Why? Because 10 kilograms is what she has. That's greater than the 9.3, etc. kilograms that she needs. So, yes, Maisie does have enough grass seed. Why? Because 10 kilograms is greater than 9.3 kilograms. Now, a couple of people might have done it a different way. You could have worked out the area of grass that you could cover with the seeds that you have. That would be completely fine. I think this is the easiest way, which is why I showed you guys this way. Still a pretty tricky question. Smoky Clip said got the same answer, but a different method. Yep, that's completely fine. Completely fine. Nice to see 63 of us over on the YouTube. That feels like it might be a bit of a record. To anybody who's watching on the TikTok, 600 of us, you should consider coming over if you want it a little bit bigger on the computer or whatever. Okay, guys, question 4B. Let's have a look at this one. It says, Maisie opens the 5 boxes of grass seed. She finds that 4 of the boxes contain 2 kilograms. The other box contains 1 kilogram. So 4 of the boxes have what we expected, and 1 of the boxes has 1 kilogram less than we expected. Does this affect whether Maisie has enough grass seed to make her lawn? Give a reason for your answer. Guys, drop it in the chat. Is it yes or no? Does it affect it? Drop your answer in the chat. Let's see. Emily says she has less. Rose says yes. Shadowplay says yes. Yasmina says yes. Sam Lay says yes. Olumaid says yes. Jess says yes. B Broke Haven says yes. Loads of people over on the YouTube now. Good to see. Guys, you are exactly right. Yes, it does affect your answer. Why? Because now she only has 9 kilograms of seed. Now she only has 9 kilograms of seed. Why? Because she had 10 before. Now she has 1 kilogram less. So overall she has 9. How many does she need? She needs 9.33333. So yep, guys, she can no longer, unfortunately, cover that grass. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 5. A lot of you guys might not have pen and paper with you. Even if you don't have pen and paper, still think about how you would do this one. Pretty important question, guys. Pretty important question. And unfortunately, I can't. Yeah, we go. That's better. That's better. A couple of people are asking whether this is a higher paper. Yep, this one is a higher paper, guys. Maybe we should shoot for a record today. Should we try and get 100 people on the YouTube live? I think that would be awesome if we could. We're up to 63 at the moment. That would be an awesome record. Cheyenne said, can you explain this, please? Yep, definitely. I'm just going to give people another minute or so to go through it, and then we will go through the answer. A said, we will defo get to 100. Whoa, we're up to 71. We're up to 71. That's a little bit, well, that's a big jump, actually. Guys, let's see. Can we jump it up even further? When I said that, 10 people came over. NJ said that 71, this is definitely a record. Yeah, guys, it is. Also, anyone who comes from the TikTok, make sure you drop a comment in the chat so I can see. Guys, another 30 seconds for this. Let's see. He says, YouTube getting bigger by the day. Exactly. Thank you very much, Sam Lay. Good to hear, my friend. Question 5, guys. Let's have a look at this one. What's it gonna be? And yeah, to anybody saying, is this higher or foundation? This paper is a higher paper. Foundation is going to be the next session from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hopefully that's clear enough. Guys, question number 5. Let's have a look. Amanda has 2 fair 3-sided spinners. Amanda spins each spinner once. Complete the probability tree diagram. We can see that the probabilities are of it landing on 2 and not landing on 2. For spinner A, we can see that there's 3 different options. It's fair, so they all have an equal likelihood. What's the probability of it landing on 2? There's 1, 2 on there. There's 3 numbers in total, so it's going to be 1 over 3. The other option then, guys, that's going to have to be 2 over 3 because our probabilities have to add to make 1. And 1 over 3 plus 2 over 3 is going to give us 1. We could also think about that as being the fact that we have 2 numbers which are not 2s out of 3 numbers in total. Spinner B, guys, our logic is going to be exactly the same. The probability of it landing on 2, there's 3 numbers, one of them's a 2, so it's going to be 1 over 3 again. Then we have 2 over 3, and for exactly the same reason, guys, 1 over 3 here, and 2 over 3 down there. Where do we go from there, guys? Well, now we want to work out the probability that spinner A lands on 2, and spinner B does not land on 2. So we need spinner A to land on 2, and we also need spinner B to not land on 2. What's the probability of spinner A landing on 2? That's going to be 1 over 3. What's the probability after that of spinner B not landing on 2? That's going to be 2 over 3. We need to find the probability of the first thing and the second thing both happening. So, guys, we're going to multiply those probabilities together. We're going to do 1 over 3 times by 2 over 3, which is going to give us 2 over 9 as our answer. 2 over 9 as our answer there, guys. We have to multiply those probabilities. Nicely done, Rubs. Nicely done, Eden. Nicely done, Oscar. Nicely done, Rose. Guys, 5 marks to screenshot this page. 5 marks? 5 seconds, I should say, to screenshot this page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 6. Let's have a look. This one says, use these graphs to solve the simultaneous equations. 5x minus 9y equals minus 46 and y equals minus 2x. Guys, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go through this. A lot of people are asking whether this is higher or foundation. Maybe I should change this. Do you think, I think the banner might be misleading people. Okay, let me change it. So, how am I gonna, which one is that? That is paper title maybe? Nope. That is, nope. I think it's up here. Okay. Let's go higher. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. There we go. Hopefully that's clearer for everybody. I think we were confusing a few people there. I just wanted to, oh, that says M, doesn't it? I just wanted to make it pretty clear that I was doing the foundation one tonight as well. But people should find that anyway. Okay, guys, let's have a look at this one. Use these graphs to solve the simultaneous equations. 5x minus 9y equals minus 46 and y equals minus 2x. Guys, how do we solve linear simultaneous equations graphically? What we do is we look for the point where these two lines cross each other. We can see that the point where they cross each other is minus 2, 4. So, guys, the solutions are going to be x equals minus 2 and y equals 4. We're looking for the place where the lines cross each other, guys. That is going to be minus 2, 4. Guys, a couple of seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to part B. Guys, a lot of people are dropping in the chat on the YouTube that we just got past 100 live viewers for the first time. Guys, nice to see people partying in the chat. Congratulations to the community. We're getting bigger and bigger. I think it says on mine there's only 95 people here at the moment. 95 watching now. Guys, if you're over on the TikTok, consider coming over to the YouTube. We are trying to make this YouTube live as big as possible. 95 people on at the moment. Congratulations to the community. Javier Jake says 100. A says we're at 100. Sam Lay says it dropped back down to 95. Yep, I can see that. Confused says it got to 105. Hey, that is good to see, guys. Let me go through this answer, and then we'll do a little bit more. A little bit more. Guys, part B. This one says use this graph to find estimates for the solutions of the quadratic equation x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0. We can see, guys, that the line that we have here is y equals x squared minus 4x plus 2, so it's exactly the same as this here. The only difference is we've swapped the y for the 0. So we need to find the values of x on this line when y is equal to 0, so when we're 0 up or down. Where's this going to be, guys? This is going to be where the graph crosses the x-axis, so it's going to be this point here, and it's going to be this point here. We can see that there's 10 boxes between the 0 and 1, so each box is worth 0.1. This is 1 unit past halfway, so it's going to be 0.6. And on the right-hand side, we're 4 boxes past the 3, so we're going to have 3.4 as our second solution. So, guys, what we do there is we look for where the graph crosses the x-axis, 0.6 and 3.4. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to question number 7. A lot to get your teeth dug into here, guys. We have 3 marks up for grabs, and I want as many people as possible to give this one a go, because again, I think this is pretty likely to come up in either paper 2 or paper 3. At the end of today's session, guys, I'm going to be doing a little bit more talking about a bit of mindset stuff for tomorrow. Maybe share a couple of breathing techniques to chill you guys out if you're feeling a bit nervous or stressed out. So stick around till the end if you're interested in that side of thing. It sounds a bit weird, breathing techniques, but believe it or not, they actually make a big difference when you're going into exams and you feel a bit stressed out and everything. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end because I know a lot of people aren't interested in that stuff and they might leave if we talk about that now. Guys, awesome to see we have smashed past 100 viewers on the YouTube. Absolutely fantastic. 680 of us over on the TikTok. We have 108 of us on the YouTube. To anybody who's just come over, welcome to the community. We are going to get this chat popping off today. Nathan said you're going to talk about the showers again. Maybe. I do like a cold shower. Quite a few people dropping 113 in the chat. A couple of people dropping 16.5 in the chat. Oh, 113. That was for the number of people on here. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's have a look. Question number 7. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one for me. Everyone on the TikTok, drop ready. Everyone on the YouTube, drop ready. Guys, let me know when you're ready because I know a few people might want a little bit more time for this. Maria's ready, Matumba's ready, Vaid is ready, Mika's ready. Guys, let's have a look. Question number 7. This one says, there is a total of 45 boys and girls in a choir. The mean age of the 18 boys is 16.2 years. The mean age of the 27 girls is 16.7 years. Calculate the mean age of all 45 boys and girls. To work out the mean age, guys, we're going to estimate, or we're going to work out the total number of years for everybody, then divide that by the total number of people. What's going to be the total age for the boys? Well, there's 18 of them, and they're 16.2 years on average. So we have 18. Oh, let me go back to blue. We have 18 times by 16.2. And for the girls, we're going to have 27 times by 16.7. They're going to be our total ages. 18 times by 16.2. That, guys, is going to give us 291.6. And for our girls, 27 by 16.7, guys, we're going to get 450.9. Now, to work out our overall mean, we're going to do our total divided by our number of people. So our overall total, that's going to be 450.9 plus 291.6 divided by the total number of people, which is going to be 45. Guys, we can bing this into our calculator. 450.9 plus 291.6 over 45. Guys, we put that in our calculator, and when we do so, it comes down and gives us 16.5. Guys, if you got that one, superb work. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 8. Here we have a pretty good question. Again, 3 marks up for grabs here. And let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Looking good, looking good. Quite a few people are asking whether this is going to be recorded and uploaded to the YouTube channel at the end of the session. Guys, all of the live sessions we do are on TikTok and on YouTube at the same time. So the YouTube live recording is uploaded instantaneously to the YouTube channel. You just have to make sure you go under the live tab. And that's where you'll find it, basically. I think quite a few people look for it on the videos section, but you have to go on the live section, and then you can find all the recordings there. Okay, looking at the chat. Mary B, well done on that last one. Ollie Taylor, well done. iCoreX, nicely done. Oppo, good work. Night Climb, good work. Yasmina Bailey, good work. Guys, you are doing a good job today. LQ08 said 109 people. That's a new record. No, yes, my friend, that is a new record. Community growing day by day. Next thing, we're going to be trying to push up to 200. Imagine that, guys. That would be crazy. Question number 8, guys. Quite a few people are dropping an answer in the chat. I'm going to give you guys another 30 seconds or so, and then I'm going to go through question number 8. This one doesn't take too long if you know how to do it. A said, we literally went from 8 to 100, or 80 to 113. Oh no, 8 to 113. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we were cruising at 8 people for most of the live, but now 110 of us on the YouTube. That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys, question 8. Quite a few people are dropping an answer in the chat. Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready for this one. I just want to give people enough time. Ready in the chat when you guys are ready, and we will talk about this one. Quite a few people dropping an answer in the chat. Shadow Plays is ready. Smoky Clips is ready. Lydia's ready. NJ says, the YouTube community popping off finally. Exactly. Guys, question 8, let's have a look. There are some counters in a bag. The counters are blue or green or red or yellow. The table shows the probabilities that a counter taken at random from the bag will be blue or green. The probability that a counter taken at random from the bag will be red is 5 times the probability that the counter taken will be yellow. There are 300 counters in the bag. Work out the number of yellow counters in the bag. So guys, we're going to have to find the probability that it's yellow and times that by 300. But how do we find that probability? We know that the probability that it's red is 5 times the probability it's yellow. So we can set up a little equation. We can say that the probability for red is 5x. And then the probability for yellow is x. That's going to give us a probability for red, which is 5 times the probability for yellow. then we can set up an equation. We know that all of our probabilities have to add to make 1. So we can say that 0.32 plus 0.2 plus 5x plus x equals 1. We can move our 0.32 and our 0.2 over to the other side. So we subtract both of those. We're going to get 6x equals 0.48. 6x equals 0.48. We also combined that 5x with the x. Then, guys, to find the value of x, we can divide both sides by 6. We get x equals 0.08, which is 0.48 divided by 6. Now we have the probability of yellow, guys. We can also fill in the probability of red if we want to. Now, working out the number of yellow counters in the bag, the probability of choosing yellow is 0.08, and there are 300 counters in total. So we do 300 times by 0.08, which, guys, is going to be 24. Let me just check that on my calculator. 300 times 0.08. Yep, no silly mistakes in town. Question number 8, guys. Our answer is going to be 24. 5 seconds to screenshot this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to move on to question number 9. Javier Drake says, come on, W. Nicely done, Javier. Nicely done, Yasmina Bailey. Oppo said, how do you do the mental math so fast? Lots of experience, mate. Lots of experience. Question number 9, guys, is a 5 marker. This is a fantastic opportunity to pick up a big 5 marks in the exam. This question looks pretty difficult when you see this diagram, but honestly, I think a lot of you guys are going to be able to get this. I'm just going to quickly move this banner over a little bit. I think it's going to look better over there. Can move that up a bit on the TikTok. Let me move this over as well. That should be slowly but surely coming over to the right-hand side, that little image. Just because I can see that it's disrupting the chat a little bit over on TikTok. Hopefully that's looking better for you guys now. There we go. Come on, that's looking nice. Emma Kelly said, what does one line of symmetry mean? It means that there is only one line that we could draw through the shape such that both of the sides of the shape look the same. In this case, the line of symmetry, I'm going to help you guys out with a little tip here, is going to be straight down the middle, like so. Straight down the middle, like so. Guys, I'm going to give you another 2 minutes for this one, another 2 minutes to think about this one. Even if you don't know how to do this one, keep trying to figure out how you might do it, because honestly, when you know how, this one doesn't use too much difficult maths. This is actually a foundation question as well. A said, don't know where to start on this. What I'm going to say, A, is that we actually have 2 right-angled triangles at the top of our shape. This would be 5 centimeters, since it's half of this. Then we can use trigonometry on this, work out the height. Then based on that, we can work out the volume. What do we reckon, guys? How much longer do we need for this one? Quite a few people asking whether this is higher. Yep. Hopefully you guys can see the thing just there. Zach says Pythag. It wouldn't actually be Pythag here. Yeah, O says, says, oh, soka toa. Yep, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Guys, drop ready in the chat if you guys are ready. And we're going to talk about question number 9. This one I know is going to divide a lot of opinion. Even if you're not sure how to do this one at the moment, promise me that you'll carefully listen when I go through it, because this is one where we can make a lot of progress. Okay, quite a few people are ready. Lexi's ready. Yeah, quite a few people are ready. Let's have a look. Question number 9. This one says the diagram shows a prism. The cross-section of the prism has exactly one line of symmetry, so we can draw a straight line down the middle. Work out the volume of the prism. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. To work out the volume of the prism, guys, we're going to work out the volume of the cuboid at the bottom, the volume of the triangular prism at the top, and add them together. Let's start off by working out the volume of the cuboid. To work out the volume of a cuboid, guys, we do base times by width times by height. Here we're going to do 10 times by 12 times by 20, which is going to be 2,400, I think. 10 times 12 times 20. Yep, 2,400. Now, what about working out the volume of this triangular prism on the top? To work out the volume of a triangular prism, guys, what do we have to do? So the volume of a prism, we have to do the area of the end face. So the area of the end face times by the width. We know the width of the shape is 20, so we need to work out the area of the end face. Now, how do we do that? Here we have a triangular face, but we don't have many measurements. We know to work out the area of a triangle, we can use a half times by base times by height. If we see up at the top here, we've now divided our triangle into two right-angled triangles. Here we have a right-angled triangle, which has a base of 5, which is half of 10. So we have a base of 5, which is half of 10. We have an angle here of 40 degrees. And we want to work out the vertical height of our triangle, so we can use a half times by base times by height. So the side that we want to work out is going to be this one here. We're going to call it x. Now, guys, how do we work out a side length in a right-angled triangle if we're given one side length and one angle? We have to use trigonometry. More specifically, we have to use SOHCAHTOA. When we use SOHCAHTOA, the first step is going to be to label our side lengths. Opposite the angle in the question, we have opposite. Opposite the right angle, we have the hypotenuse, and our other side is the adjacent. In this question, we're given the adjacent, and we want the opposite, so we're going to be using TOA because that has the O and the A. What does TOA tell us? It tells us that tan of our angle, so tan of our angle, I'm going to call it theta, is equal to our opposite divided by our adjacent. We know that our angle is 40 degrees. So we can substitute 40 in for our angle. So we have tan 40 equals our opposite side x divided by our adjacent side 5. Now to find the value of x, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 5. We're going to get x equals 5 tan 40, which, guys, we can type into our calculator, 5 tan 40. And when we do so, we're going to get 4.195 to 3 decimal places. Now, guys, we know that the height of the triangle is 4.195, so we can work out the area of the overall end face. We know the area of a triangle, so area of a triangle is equal to a half times by the base of the triangle times by the height. For this triangle here, we have an overall base of 10 because it's those two right-angled triangles. So we have a half times by 10 times by our height, which is 4.195, which we just worked out. We can type that into our calculator, guys, and we're going to get about 22. 5 times 4.195. We get 20.975. That, guys, is going to be the area of the end face. Now, to work out the volume of the triangular prism on the top, we need to multiply that by our width. So working out the volume of the triangular prism, we can do 20.975 times by 20. That, guys, is going to give us 419.5. Finally, guys, finding the overall volume of the prism. What's it going to be? It's going to be 419.5 plus the volume of the cuboid, 2,400. What's that going to be, guys? 2,819.5. 2,819.5, giving our answer now to 3 significant figures as in the question. What are we going to do? Our first significant figure is the 2. Our second is the 8. Our third is the 1. So we look to the next number. It's a 9. Because it's 5 or above, we are going to round up. So that 1 turns into a 2, and we get our answer of 2,820. Guys, if you got that one, superb job. Talk to me in the chat. How did we find it? Nicely done, Samya. Superb work. A couple of people saying, can you show the whole question? There you go. Shadow Play says, I got it. Oppo says, let's go. Guys, if you got that, superb, superb job. Difficult question there. Umar said, I understand it now. Guys, those, I've said it before, I'll say it again, those are my absolute favorite comments. We're here to make progress. We're not here to get everything right. My favorite comments are the people who didn't get it in the first place, but understands it after I go through it. So guys, if you are in that group, big congratulations. Nicely done, Maria. Nicely done, Nebo, or Nembo, I should say. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 10. And I'm just going to get rid of that for you guys. Question number 10. Let's have a look at this one. Nice to see 114 of us over on the YouTube. Guys, we are hitting PRs for days. A couple of people are asking where I'm calling the names out of. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. So I go live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. Yeah, I kind of tend to focus on the YouTube chat just because it's a lot easier for me to see. Because everybody's messages stay on and get recorded and all that stuff. So if you haven't already, consider going over there. Ethan Barnes, what a question. I haven't actually done a 1 rep max in a while, but for reps, 80 for 12. And on the dumbbells, 44 for 6. Zach said, is this standard form? Yes, my friend, it is. Nice to see 120 of us on the YouTube now. Guys, this is good to see. Let's have a look. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. Question number 10. We have parts A and B here. I'm going to go through these ones together. Let's see. To anybody who doesn't know as well, I'm live 3 till 5 for higher. I'm live 6 till 8 today for foundation. I'm even considering doing another live afterwards. Maybe a chilled out live. Maybe a exam technique live. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. I'm gonna see how much energy we have after that and what you guys want to do. Guys, should we have a look? Yeah, nicely done, Paige. Nicely done, A. Yeah, GG. They're exactly the same. Let's have a look. Mana Manu is ready. Come on. Question number 10. This one says a person's heart rate beats approximately 10 to the power of 5 times each day. A person lives for approximately 81 years. Work out an estimate for the number of times a person's heart beats in their lifetime. Give your answer in standard form, correct to 2 significant figures. To work this out, guys, we're going to do the number of years, 81, times by the number of days in a year, 365, times by the number of beats per day, 10 to the power of 5. We bring this into our calculator, guys. 81 times 365 times 10 to the power of 5. When we do so, we get 29565000000. Put our commas in just to make things clear. We need to give our answer in standard form correct to 2 significant figures. Step number 1, let's round this to 2 sig figures. First significant figure is the 2, second is the 9, third is the 5. We look at this because it's 5 or above, we round up. That's going to turn the 9 into a 10, which turns the 2 into a 3. So to 2 significant figures, it becomes 3, 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Writing this as a number in standard form, guys, we write it as a number between 1 and 10 times by 10 to some power. Here we have 9 zeros, so it's going to be 3 times by 10 to the power of 9. Guys, if you got that one, awesome work. You missed a joke, bruv. Says, yes, the old live is back. Yes, sir, we are back. Software back. Very nice to see. Quite a lot of people ask in these questions how this is an estimate. Guys, the reason this is an estimate is because in the question it said approximately and approximately here. Whenever we have a calculator, there's no reason at all to round these numbers. We can just calculate it on the calculator. So whenever you get estimation questions in paper 2 and 3, it doesn't mean that you have to round the numbers. Instead, what it means is that you have to it just means that these values are approximate. I lost focus there for a sec. So yeah, it just means that these values are approximate. You don't have to do any rounding. Guys, 10B, let's have a look at this one. It's been on the screen for a while. 128 of us over on the YouTube, guys. Community is growing. Come on, let's have a look. Part B. 2 times by 10 to the power of 12 red blood cells have a total mass of 90 grams. Work out the average mass of one red blood cell. Give your answer in standard form. Guys, we're going to have to divide that 90 grams by how many red blood cells make it up. So we're simply going to do 90 divided by 2 times by 10 to the power of 12. We're going to bring that into the calculator. 90 divided by, in brackets, 2 times by 10 to the power of 12. We close those brackets, and then we get, on the calculator, 4.5 times by 10 to the power of minus 11. Tells us that on the calculator, guys. For anybody whose calculator gave it as a number, which should be nobody, but if your calculator did, you would just count the number of zeros, and it would be 10 zeros. You would also have the 0.5 after the decimal, making it power of 11. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 11. Although, guys, because you need the paper printed out for this one, we're going to skip this. So I'll give you 10 seconds to screenshot this one as well. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 12. Guys, again, I've done this one for you because this topic came up in paper 1. So we're not going to waste any time on this. We're going to skip this question. But this topic is very likely to come up in paper 2. So we are going to do this one. So we're skipping part 12b because it's already come up. Cherry said, do you get tracing paper in your exams or not? Great question, Cherry. Guys, absolutely. If you don't get given tracing paper at the start of your exam, I hate to say it, but be that person. Put your hand up at the start and ask for tracing paper. The last thing you want in the middle of your exams, guys, is to need some tracing paper, and everybody in the exam needs tracing paper at the same time. Then you have, with all due respect, like a 75-year-old examiner who can't walk more than 1.5 miles an hour, trying to get around 80 different people with tracing paper, and you end up wasting loads and loads of time. So do yourself a favor and put your hand up at the start of the exam, before the exam starts, or just on the way into the room. Speak to the invigilator and get some tracing paper. Don't waste your time waiting in the middle of the exam, because trust me, I have never seen anybody walk slower than any of the examiners that I've had in any exams ever. So guys, trust me, man, you don't want to be in that situation. I've been there one time, and that was one time too many. Guys, question 12. I'm going to give you guys another 30 seconds or so, and we are going to have a look at question number 12. Hey, thank you, Kyrie. I'm just trying to say it how it is. TM says, Hala Madrid. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of happy Madrid fans today. Famalam Cuz in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 134 of us on the YouTube now. Guys, we are hitting records for days. Maria beat me to it, said today we are breaking records. Yep, we're also up to 770 people on the TikTok, which is beautiful. Guys, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm live on both at the same time. If you have your laptop with you or you have a computer with you, you might prefer to watch on the channel. The chat's popping off there as well. Absolutely wicked, guys. Absolutely wicked. Question number 12A, guys. Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready for this one, and we will talk about it. Question 12A. This one says, express x over x plus 2 plus 2x over x minus 4 as a single fraction in its simplest form. Quite a few people dropping ready in the chat. Let's have a look. What are we going to do? Guys, when we have to add two algebraic fractions together, what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply to have them written over the same denominator. The left-hand fraction, we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by x minus 4. And the right-hand fraction, we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by x plus 2. Then we can just add the tops together, and we're going to have x plus 2 times x minus 4 on the denominator. So what's this going to give us? Well, on the left-hand side, we're going to have x times by x minus 4. Then we're going to have plus 2x times by x plus 2. And all of that is going to be over x plus 2 times by x minus 4. What we did there, guys, was we cross-multiplied to get the same denominator for both of our fractions. Now what we can do is we can expand our brackets. We do x times by x. That's going to give us x squared. Then we do x times by minus 4. That's going to give us minus 4x. Then we're going to have plus 2x times by x is going to be 2x squared. And then 2x times by 2, that's going to be plus 4x. And I miss a squared off there. That's all going to be over x plus 2 times by x minus 4. Next step, guys, we're going to collect our like terms. We have x squared plus 2x squared. That, guys, is going to give us 3x squared. And then we're going to do minus 4x plus 4x. They're going to cancel each other out, guys. So we're just going to be left with 3x squared over x plus 2 times by x minus 4. Guys, if you got that one, superb job. Pretty tricky question there, but I think it's very likely to come up in papers 2 and 3. 5 seconds to screenshot, guys. 5, 4, 3. Let me zoom out, actually, for anybody interested. 2, 1. Oppo, great question. Smoky Clips, great question as well. People are asking, do you not expand the bottom? Guys, you don't have to expand the bottom. You don't have to expand the bottom. You could if you want to. You wouldn't lose any marks. If you did expand the bottom, you would have x squared minus 2x minus 8 on the bottom. But you don't have to. You're going to get the marks either way for that one. Guys, question 13. If you don't have the paper printed out, guys, if you don't have the paper printed out, have a think about how you would do this one. This is a crucial question. Crucial question. This is sketching graphical inequalities. Guys, if you don't have the paper printed out, make sure you think about how to do this one. Don't just wait for me to do it. Really important question here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's the chat saying? Guys, we are up to 145 people on the YouTube. Should we try push it to 200? That would be crazy if we can do that. That would be crazy. We got 660 of us on the TikTok, which is awesome as well. Guys, we are out here putting in the work ahead of our paper 2s. It's absolutely awesome to see. Question 13, guys. I know a lot of you are not going to have this paper printed out. So I am just going to give you another 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go through it. Listen very carefully, though, to this one. I'm going to teach you the whole topic. We're also going to cover sketching straight lines here in the quickest way that you can. Tommy Antro's ready. A said we can defo get 200. That would be crazy, guys, wouldn't it? That would just be crazy. Hey, Bonsai said this is really helpful. That's good to hear, Bonsai. Good to hear. Guys, question 13A, quite a few people, Aaliyah included, dropping ready on the chat. Let's have a look at question 13A. It says, on the grid, show by shading the region that satisfies all of these inequalities. Label the region R. Guys, when we get a question like this, what we need to do is we need to draw all of our lines on the graph and then either shade above them or below them or left or right of them. First off, x is greater than or equal to 0. Guys, how do we sketch the line of x equals 0? That is going to be a vertical line on our y-axis. It's going to be a vertical line on our y-axis. That is the line x equals 0. Why is that, guys? That's because this is going to be all of the points at which x is equal to 0. It's going to be all of the points at which we're 0 across and 0. Well, yeah, with 0 across in either direction. What about x is less than or equal to 2, guys? That one is going to be a line directly, vertically through x equals 2. Again, this is all of the points where the value of x is equal to 2. We need to decide, guys, which side of these lines we're going to shade. X is greater than or equal to 0, so we're going to shade the side of this line which is greater than 0. In other words, we're going to sketch the right-hand side of this line. We're going to shade, I should say, the right-hand side of this line. What about x is less than or equal to 2? That's going to be the left-hand side, all of the points on the graph where the value of x is less than 2. What about then, guys, y is less than or equal to x plus 3? This one's going to be a little bit harder. When it comes to sketching a line like this, guys, there are a couple of different methods we could use. One of them is going to be to draw a table of values, but that one's going to take a little bit longer. And also, guys, to anybody asking about dotted lines versus filled-in lines, I'm going to talk about that at the end of the question. So I'll talk about that one at the end. So, sketching y is less than or equal to x plus 3. Sketching y equals x plus 3, we could either use a table of values or we could use what we know about y equals mx plus c. Y equals mx plus c is the general equation of a straight line where m is the gradient of the line, which tells us the steepness, and c is the y-intercept. In the case of y equals x plus 3, we're going to have a gradient of 1 because we have 1x here, and we're going to have a y-intercept of 3. So we can draw on the y-intercept of 3, and then we have a gradient of 1. So we go 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up, 1 to the right, 1 up. Then we can join together our lines, and we're going to get a line like this. This is the line y equals x plus 3. When it comes to sketching this one, guys, it's going to be a little bit trickier because it's not currently in the form y equals mx plus c. However, what we can do is we can rearrange this to get it in the form y equals mx plus c. So I'm going to remove that down there. I'm going to come up here. Let's go in purple now. How do we rearrange this equation to get the y on its own? Well, first off, we're going to minus 2x from both sides of the equation. We're going to get 3y is greater than or equal to minus 2x plus 6. I put the minus 2x first, just so it's in this form. Then, guys, we're going to divide both sides of our equation by 3. We're going to get y is greater than or equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 6 divided by 3, guys. That is going to give us 2. Now we can sketch this line. We know it has a gradient of negative 2/3 and a y-intercept of 2. Again, we could plot some points, or we can do it using the gradient and the y-intercept. It crosses the line at 2, and it has a gradient of negative 2 over 3. That means, guys, when it goes 3 to the right, it's going to go 2 units down. So we can draw this point on here. We can also draw this point on here. We can then join these with a straight line. It's going to look exactly like this. This is the line y equals minus 2 over 3x plus 2. We didn't talk, guys, about which side of the line we were going to shade and which side of this line. If in doubt, guys, you can always go for the region that's just in the middle of all of them. But why actually is that? Well, in the case of our green line, we need where y is less than x plus 3. So the value of the height is less than the value of the line. So it's going to be below that line. And in the case of our purple line, we have y is greater than minus 2 over 3x plus 2. So we have to go above that line because y is greater than it. That, guys, is going to pen us in to the region. Here we have to label the region R. So it is going to be this region here. Guys, I just went through about 3 weeks of schoolwork in about 2.5 minutes. So I know that was really quick. If that did make sense for you guys, congratulations, because that's a difficult topic, A, and B, if you just learned that in 2.5 minutes, you learn 3 weeks of schoolwork in 2 minutes. Now, if you're still thinking, what the heck went on there, I would consider revising this one. So this live recording is going to be uploaded straight to the YouTube channel, and you can watch it straight away over there, and that will kind of allow you to stop it, slow it down a bit, because I did go through that one pretty quickly. I'm going to have a quick look at the chat now on the YouTube. Nice to see 130 of us on. Lydia says that makes more sense now. Javier Drake said, what's this topic called? This is sketching inequalities. Oh, I did say as well that I would talk about when it's dotted versus when it's bold. Guys, if we have a look, all of these lines are greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Crucially, they have the or equal to sign. When we have an inequality with the or equal to sign, we use a bold line or a regular line. If instead it was, for example, x is greater than 0, instead of being a bold line, it would be a dotted line. The way that I do it is I draw a regular line, then I just rub out a few places on the line. Now, the way to remember that, quite a few people know that, say if we were sketching our inequalities on a number line, let's say we have 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and we wanted to sketch negative 2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 3, a lot of people know that we would draw a hollow circle above the minus 2 and a filled in circle above the 3. We would then join them with a straight line. Now, the way that I teach people to remember this is that when we have more ink on the page with our dot, we have more ink on the page with our inequality. Over here on the left, when we have less ink on the page with our dot, we have less ink on the page with our inequality. Guys, it's exactly the same with our straight lines. When we have more ink on the page, we have a bold line, which is more ink, or a filled in regular line. And when we don't have the or equal to, we have a dotted line, so less ink on the page, again, goes with less ink on the page. Hopefully that one makes sense, guys. A lot of content there. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we, guys, are going to move on to part B. I'm just going to go through this one for you guys because it's you kind of need the paper printed out. It's only going to take 30 seconds, though, so don't worry too much about it. Then we're going to have a look at the next question. It says the diagram below shows the region S, which satisfies these inequalities. Man like Jeffrey says that the point with coordinates 2, 4 does not satisfy the inequalities because it does not lie in the shaded region. Is Jeffrey correct? Guys, we can see that the point 2, 4 is over here. It's actually on our line. Because our inequalities are or equal to, they're going to include this point. Therefore, Jeffrey is not correct. Why? Because it's on the line. Yeah, so it does satisfy the inequalities because it's on the line. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 14. We have 4 marks up for grabs here, guys. This is a classic circle theorems question. A classic circle theorems question. You're very likely to get a question like this. And honestly, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Harry said if the inequalities were not or equal to, would the lines be dotted? Yep, that's exactly right, Harry. Guys, 720 of us on the TikTok at the moment, 130 of us over on the YouTube. We are breaking records today over on the YouTube. To anybody who, just after I said that, it dipped a little bit, but to anybody who has a laptop nearby or even on their phone who wants to join on the YouTube, I'm also live on YouTube at the same time. The recordings are all uploaded over there, and we're trying to break a record today. We might even try to get to 200 people later, which would be a little bit crazy. Question 14. Let's have a look. Smoky Clips said cyclic quadrilateral. Yes, Smoky Clips, there is a cyclic quadrilateral in this question. Charlotte 26 says, how do we start? Do we use trig? No trig in this question. I know why you thought that, because we do have a triangle. A couple of people are saying alternative segment. Yes, guys, this is a question which involves the alternate segment theorem. Leah Thant says, I hate these ones. Guys, I know a lot of people don't like circle theorems. A lot of people don't like circle theorems. Question 14, guys. Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready. Sam Lay's come in with an answer. Mariam's not looking forward to circle theorems. Quite a few people dropping an answer in the chat. Guys, even if you hate circle theorems, promise me that you listen carefully to this one, because this is very likely to come up, and honestly, it's not too bad. Let's have a look. Question 14. This one says that points B, D, E, and F lie on a circle. ABC is the tangent to the circle at B. Find the size of angle ABD. You must give a reason for each stage of your working. 4 marks. Guys, the size of angle ABD is going to be this whole angle here. Let's draw it on. So this is the angle we're looking for, angle X. Now what can we say? Straight away we see a circle and we're thinking circle theorems. Okay. We look at this, we don't only see a circle, but we see a 4-sided shape inside of our circle. So straight away we're thinking, okay, maybe I can use my alternate segment theorem. What does the my opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral theorem. So my opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral. A cyclic quadrilateral, guys, is a 4-sided shape that has all of its points on the circumference of a circle. And what do we know about them? We know that opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. So opposites in a cyclic quadrilateral add to 180 degrees. Based on that, we can do 180 minus this angle here to work out the size of the opposite angle. We can do 180 minus 100, which gives us 80. What this tells us, guys, is that this angle here has to be 80. Now, what else can we say? We can use one of our other circle theorems. This one, guys, I would say is the most annoying circle theorem. It's kind of the most, I'd say it's one of the most difficult to spot and one of the ones that least people know. We can use, guys, the alternate segment theorem. The alternate segment theorem tells us that the angles in alternate segments are equal. So this angle here, so if we look at this, we have a triangle coming away from the point where our tangent meets our circle. It tells us that this angle here is going to be the same as this angle here. So this angle here is going to be the same as this angle here. What can we use that for? Now, what can we say? We can say that this angle here is 40 degrees because angles in alternate segments are equal. So we can just write alternate segment angles are equal. Alternate segment angles are equal. What does that mean, guys? That means that this one is 40 degrees. Finally, where can we go from here? We can use the fact that angles along a straight line add up to 180 degrees. We can do our 180, subtract our 80, subtract our 40, because we have three angles along a straight line here. That's going to give us x, guys, and it is going to be 60 degrees. Guys, if you got that one, superb work. A couple of people are saying that it froze. Hopefully you could hear everything clearly. That one, guys, was angles on a straight line. Add to 180 degrees. Guys, superb work if you got that. A couple of people are saying the TikTok shut down for a second. Guys, talk to me in the chat. Is everything okay? Let me know in the chat. Is everything okay in the TikTok? LTC said, we good. Anon said, yep. Dot said, yes. Theo said, yep. Guys, thank you very much for responding. Thank you to everybody on the YouTube who also said it's good on the YouTube. Thank you, Sam Lay. Thank you, Maisie Hatfield. Guys, thank you very much. Okay, 5 seconds to screenshot this page. 5. Thank you, Sophia. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 15. Although, guys, this is another one that came up in our paper ones. So, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 16. I think the next one, or this one we skipped as well, actually, just because it came up in paper 1. But question 16, guys, this is a great question for revision. I think, again, you're likely to get questions like this, to be honest. Paige said, very unlikely to come up. Yep, I agree for that previous one. That's why we're skipping it. NJ said, I'm back now. My iPad has some charge. Welcome back, NJ. Mary B, hallo, wie geht es dir? Ich hoffe, dass alles gut ist. Talk to me in the chat, guys. How's it going? Dan says, I'm not a fan of speed time graphs. I know a lot of people are feeling that way. A couple of people are asking if I'm German based on that. I'm actually not German. I just did A-level German, so I do speak a bit of German. And one of the regulars on the YouTube speaks German or is German. So every now and again, I like to give a little German communication, but I'm not German. Yeah, it's so funny. Maisie Hatfield says, je detest maths. Ich hasse maths. Yeah, or matter. Guys, 5 seconds for this one. Then we're going to go through. Not too much going on here. Pretty tricky question. Man like Ollie James says, get on with it, mate. Okay, let's have a look. Question 16, what's it going to be? It says here is a speed time graph for a car. We have speed on the y-axis. We have time on the x-axis. Work out an estimate for the distance the car traveled in the first 30 seconds. Guys, how do we work out the distance traveled using a speed time graph? To work out the distance traveled using a speed time graph, we're going to work out the area under the curve. We're going to work out the area under the curve. So, how are we going to work out the area under the curve for the first 30 seconds? Well, we can only estimate it because we have an actual curve. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line from our origin up to the curve up here. And then we're going to go down to 30 seconds. Now we have a triangle, and we know how to work out the area of a triangle. We can use a half times by base times by height. The base of our triangle here is 30, and the height of our triangle here, we can see it's halfway between the 8 and the 10, so it's going to be 9. So we're going to do 30 times by 9 times by a half, or just to make it clearer, a half times 30 times 9, which is going to be 135. Let me just check that. Oh, no, it's good. So 135. Perfect. 16A, 135. And does it give us our units in the question? Yeah, it does. It tells us it's meters. If it didn't, guys, how would we know it was meters? Because our speed is in meters per second. Our time is in seconds. So, yep, that's how we're going to do that one. Part B then, this one says, is your answer an underestimate or an overestimate of the actual distance traveled? Guys, let me know in the chat. Is it going to be an overestimate or an underestimate? Let me know in the chat, underestimate or overestimate. What's it going to be? Nofila Fatima, great question, said, why do you divide by 2? That's because we did the area of a triangle here using a half times base times by height. Most people are saying it was an underestimate. Ollie says under, Devon says under, Ace says under, KD Gaming says under, Olumaid says under. Guys, if you said under, you are exactly right. It is an underestimate. Give a reason for your answer. The reason, guys, is just going to be because our triangle is under the curve. So in reality, the area would include this little patch here, but our estimate doesn't include that patch. Therefore, guys, it's an underestimate. Why? Because the triangle is under the curve. The triangle is under the curve. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this page. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to move on to question part C, I should say, question 16C. Carty, great question. It's about to answer for this one, or that's about to be this question. So give this question a read, and I'll cover it there. That's the only reason I didn't cover it yet. NJ's interested as well. So Smoky Clips. Eileen Miller said, why does it matter if it's under the curve? The reason is because the area is going to be smaller than the actual curve. Guys, part C. Go on, drop your answer in the chat for this one. Thank you very much, Maisie. Brilliant young man says, we want foundation, my friend. I'm going to be back 4 till, no, not 4 till 6, 6 till 8 doing a foundation paper. Part C, guys. Let's see what's going on with this one. It says, Julian used the graph to answer this question. Work out an estimate for the acceleration of the car at time 60 seconds. Here is Julian's working. Acceleration equals speed divided by time, blah, blah, blah. Julian's method does not give a good estimate of the acceleration at time 60 seconds. Explain why. The reason why, guys, is because to work out the acceleration, we need to find the gradient of the tangent at t equals 60. What our guy Julian has done is he's done the total change in speed divided by the total change in time. So he's actually worked out the average acceleration between 0 and 60 instead of working out the instantaneous acceleration that would be given by the gradient of the tangent. So guys, to work out the acceleration at a point in time, we have to work out the gradient of the tangent. Hi says he needs to draw a tangent. Yep, you're exactly right, Hi. Says bro should have drawn a tangent. Yep, you're right. Good job. Guys, moving on now. question 17, although this is another one, histograms that came up in paper 1. So I'm just going to give you guys 5 seconds to screenshot this if you're interested, any AQA students. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question 18. We have 4 marks up for grabs here, guys. This is a difficult question. 4 marks up for grabs here. Question 18. Question 18, tricky 3D Pythagoras question here, guys, involving some problem solving. NJ said, I have a feeling this question might come up. I think, to be fair, it's fairly likely, NJ. I think it's fairly likely. I mean, one year they actually gave a question like this that was a 1 marker. So they gave a question like this that was in terms of algebra instead of being with regular numbers. And they did it for 1 mark, which was just brutal. I don't know what was in their mind. Well, I mean, the thing that was in their mind was actually that some people memorize the formula, but so few people memorize that. Like, so few people memorize the formula. I'm not going to do it with the formula, so don't worry about that. I'm just going to show you guys the logic for it. But it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, that's for sure. Looking at the chat, guys, nice to see 123 of us still over on the YouTube. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Carty says, what is the equation linking frequency class width and frequency density? Sorry for off topic. No worries. It would be frequency density times class width equals frequency. So frequency equals frequency density times by class width. Guys, couple more seconds, another 30 seconds or so. And then we are going to go through it. 30 seconds for this one. Question 18, pretty tricky question. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. No worries, Carty, no worries. A couple of people thinking that this one might be 11.25. There is definitely 11.25 in the question, and it will be involved. I'm going to give you guys a hint now. Let's have a look. Question 18. It says the diagram shows a cube. We're told that AH is 11.3 correct to the nearest millimeter. AH, guys, is the diagonal straight line linking A and H. We know that that length is 11.3 to the nearest millimeter. We're asked to calculate the lower bound for the length of an edge of the cube. You must show all your working. First off, guys, a quick 1 mark for quite a few people. Because we're finding the lower bound for the length, we're going to take the lower bound for this value here. So the smallest value of AH is going to be associated with the smallest value of the length of the cubes. So we're going to take the lower bound for 11.3. So lower bound for AH. What's it going to be, guys? Correct to the nearest millimeter. So we're simply going to minus 0.05 from this. We're going to get that the lower bound for AH is 11.25. So we know that the lower bound for AH is 11.25. Now let's have a think about what we're actually trying to find in this question. We're trying to find the length of one edge, for example, this side here. So let's call that X. Now where can we go from here? Well, we can draw a right angle triangle here. And we can link this to 11.25. How? Because if we knew what this was in terms of x, then we could use Pythagoras' theorem, because this is a right angle triangle. We'd have this side squared plus this side squared equals this side squared, then we can solve for x. But how do we find this side in terms of x? Well, we know that the side lengths of our cube are equal to x. That's what we're trying to find. So we can say this is x and this is x. And we can also say that, let me just do this a little bit further out so it doesn't overlap it. Oh, mess that up again. Let me just do it there so it's clear. We can say that that is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle here. Now, how would we find the length of this in terms of x? Well, we know based on Pythagoras' theorem that these two sides, if we square them and add them and square root them, we're going to get this side here. So we can say that FH is actually equal to, so we can say that FH is equal to the square root of x squared plus x squared. Why is that, guys? Because a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So this squared plus this squared is this squared. So this is the square root of this squared plus this squared. Where can we go from there, guys? Well, now we have an expression for the length of this side here. It's the square root of x squared plus x squared in terms of x. Where can we go from there, guys? Well, now we can set up an equation using Pythagoras' theorem for this big boy triangle over here. We know that the two side lengths, x and the square root of x squared plus x squared, when we square them and add together, we get this side squared. So we can say that x squared plus the square root of x squared plus x squared equals 11.25 squared. Now, guys, we have an equation which we can rearrange and solve to find the value of x. First of all, we have x squared plus the square root of this squared. The square root and the squared are going to cancel out. We're going to be left with x squared plus x squared. This is going to be equal to 11.25 squared, which when we type into the calculator gives us 2025 over 16. Where can we go from there, guys? We can simplify this. Left-hand side, x squared plus x squared plus x squared is 3x squared is equal to 2025 over 16. Next up, we can divide both sides of our equation by 3. We divide by 3. We get x squared equals 675 over 16. Now, finding the value of x, we're going to square root both sides. So x equals the square root of 675 over 16. Guys, we bring that into our calculator, square root of answer. And when we do so, as a decimal, we get 6.495. And that is to 3 decimal places. Guys, talk to me in the chat. How did we find that one? I know that was a solid question, even to anybody aiming for a grade 9. If you don't understand that after I've gone through it, don't let it stress you out. Really difficult question there. If you're in the very small group of people who do understand that now, huge congratulations, because that is a solid, solid question. Hey, A said I understand it now. Congratulations, A. Good job to anybody who got that. R said that was a demonic question. It was certainly a difficult one. Hey, no worries, NJ. Nice that you got the method, though. Megan Spam said, makes sense now. Guys, good work if that does make sense. A couple of people are asking, where did you get the 16 from? Oh, yeah. The 16 was just when we calculated this. So I just typed it into my calculator, and it came out as this. So it gave it as a fraction instead of a decimal. Rick Grimes, I can second that. Guys, let's move on now. Question number 19. We have another mammoth of a question. And I've actually written out the solution already for you guys, because I know a lot of people are going to want to screenshot it. So I want it to be as clear as possible. Guys, 4 marks up for grabs here. 4 marks up for grabs. Another very difficult question. But guess what? There are actually only 21 questions in this paper. I think, let me just check. Yep, 21 questions in the paper. So we only have 3 to go. We only have 3 questions to go in this one. Sasdi Aswas said, I ain't doing all that. You know, guys, I mean, this question is difficult. This question is difficult, but it's not too crazy. It's a difficult question. It's a grade 9 question. Don't get me wrong. It's a grade 9 question. That last one was a grade 9 question as well. And now we have 2 options for this. I can either show you guys live and I can just derive it on the spot, or I can go through the thing that I've already written out on the next page. I just already wrote it out for you guys because I know a lot of people are going to want to screenshot it, and it's probably going to be more neat. Okay, a lot of people are saying live. Oh, let's have a quick vote. Let's have a quick vote. Should I go through it live, or should I go through the one that I've already written down? So live, or should I go through the written one? The benefit of the written one is the writing will be a little bit neater. It's perfectly laid out. Guys, let me know on the YouTube as well. Let me know on the YouTube as well, just in the chat. I'll have a look in a couple of seconds. I'm more than happy to do either. Okay. Everybody's saying live. Everybody's saying live. Pretty much everybody's saying live. Guys, have a vote in the poll in the top left-hand corner. It's pretty much decided I'll go through it live. Yep, okay. Mary B says written. I'm sorry, Mary B. What I will do, though, is I will give you time to screenshot the next page, and I'll make sure I write this page anyway. Neat, to be honest. So, difficult question here, but I will go through it live. Don't worry, guys. Hey, by the way, guys, the YouTube chat is popping today. Look at all the people who just replied to that. Guys, I'm going to give everyone a shout out on the YouTube. We had Carty, we had Rickle Pick, we had NJ, we had Sam Lay, we had Lathan T, we had Hannah145, we had Shadow, we had Raul, what a name that is. We had Maisie, we had Hamza, we had Aya, nice name as well. We had Motumba. Guys, you guys have got some sick names out here, I got to say. You guys have got some wicked names. Mamta, we got, I'm not going to read that one, Mr. 3000. Adia, we got Louis, we got Yasmina, we got Adia, we got Carty again, Dalton again, we got 3000 again. Guys, awesome. We got Lilia. Guys, I'll go through it live though, don't worry. Quite a lot of people are asking my name now that I've gone through a bunch of people watching's names. My name is Matt. COC says, hello, boss. Hello, my friend. Guys, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds or so for this one just to think about how to do it. Thank you, Riri. Thank you, Anosh. I was expecting that, Frank. Fair play, Solomon. You did me there, mate. You did me there. I'm not going to argue with that. Screwfix said, hi, Matt. Hello, my friend. Yeah, thank you, A, as well. Past 100 is wicked. Wicked. Guys, question 19. Drop ready in the chat when you're ready for this one. We got a bit of a mammoth here, but we're going to make this one as clear as possible. I am going to go through this one live, but guys, promise me when I go through it, listen to this carefully because there's a lot of gold hidden in this question, and EdXL especially love putting in questions like this. They love putting in questions like this. Sam Lay says, peak viewers right now. Yes, sir. Guys, Vaid is ready. Guys, let's have a look at question 19 and break it down bit by bit. Question 19 says, ABCDEF is a regular hexagon with side lengths of x. That's this one over here. Let's start off by writing in our side lengths of x. Next up, the hexagon is enlarged center F by scale factor P to give the larger hexagon. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to write down one of the side lengths. So it's enlarged scale factor P, which means the side lengths of the bigger one are going to be Px. We're asked to show that the area of the shaded region in the diagram is given by this massive, ugly expression here. Guys, what are we going to do? Well, how do we work out the area of the shaded region? Well, the shaded region is going to be our larger hexagon area, so larger area minus the area of the smaller hexagon, so minus the smaller area. Let's try and work out an expression for the area of the smaller hexagon. Now, what do we know about this smaller hexagon? We know that it has side lengths of x. Whenever it comes as well, guys, to working out the area of a hexagon, what we're going to do is we're going to divide it into 6 triangles, which is going to look like this. Those 6 triangles are all going to be equilateral triangles. Now, to be honest, you wouldn't even have to write that in your answer, or you wouldn't have to write why that is in your answer, but I will tell you guys for completeness. The reason that we know it's an equilateral triangle is because we know that this angle here has to be 60 degrees. Why? Because angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. We have 6 equal-sized angles in the middle, so this one is going to be 60 degrees because it's 1/6 of the total 360. Now, where can we go from there? We also know that this triangle has to at least be an isosceles triangle because the radius here and the radius here have to be the same length because they're both radiuses. Now, based on that, both of these angles have to be the same. We know that angles add to 180, and in order for these angles to be the same and all of the angles to add to 180, both of these angles have to be 60 degrees as well. So, we know from that our triangles are all equilateral triangles. Because they're equilateral triangles, we know all of the side lengths of the triangles are going to be the same, so we can say that these triangles are x. Where can we go from there? How can we work out the area of this hexagon? Well, we have 6 triangles, which are all the same size. How can we work out the area of a triangle? Well, we know that the area of a triangle can be found using a half base times height. But here we don't have the base, well, we don't have the height, I should say. We do have the base. So we're going to use our other formula for the area of a triangle, which is a half AB sine C. In this case, our C is going to be 60 degrees. It's going to be one of the angles. And our A and B are the two side lengths either side, so we have X. So working out the area of the smaller hexagon. So let's write in green our smaller hexagon. What do we have? We have 6 of these triangles, so we have 6 times by. Each of the triangles has an area of a half times by 8 times by b, so times by x times by sine c, so times by sine of 60. We can simplify this on our calculator, guys. We're going to do 6 times a half times sine 60. We type that into our calculator, guys. It's going to be 3 times sine 60. 3 times by sine 60, guys, is going to give us equals 3 root 3 over 2. And then we can't forget our x times by our x, so we have to write in our x squared. Now let's think about the area of our larger hexagon now that we have the area of the smaller hexagon. Well, what's the relationship between the larger hexagon and the smaller hexagon? The difference between the two is that whereas our smaller hexagon has side lengths of x, our larger hexagon has side lengths of px. So the only difference between the area of the smaller hexagon and the area of the larger hexagon is going to be that the x over here is swapped for px. So instead of having x squared, we're going to have px squared. So we know that the area of the larger hexagon then is going to be 3 root 3 over 2 times by px squared. Px squared, guys, we can just write this as 3 root 3 over 2 times by p squared x squared. So we have to square that p and also square that x. Now, finding out an expression for the overall shaded area. We are going to do our larger area, subtract our smaller area. So, guys, we're going to do our 3 root 3 over 2 p squared x squared minus our 3 root 3 over 2 x squared. We can see, guys, that the relationship between this and this is very similar. We have a 3 root 3 over 2, and we have a 3 root 3 over 2, and we have an x squared, we have an x squared. It's pretty clear that what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to factorize this. Firstly, pulling out a common factor of 3 root 3 over 2, and then pulling out a common factor of x squared. Now, they've been a little bit confusing here, and they've put the x squared at the end of the expression instead of at the front. Really, if I was factorizing this, I would have put the x squared in front of the brackets. However, it doesn't matter if it's the front or the back. Either way, we're just multiplying by x squared. So we're going to pull the 3 root 3 over 2 out of the brackets. So we have 3 root 3 over 2. We're going to pull the x squared out of the brackets as well, put it on the end. And then what are we going to have? Well, what do we times by 3 root 3 over 2 x squared to get this? We just times it by p squared. What do we times by 3 root 3 over 2 x squared to get this? We just times it by negative 1. And we can see, guys, that the expression that we've come up with is exactly the same as the expression in the question. Therefore, we must be right. That, guys, is when you start to party, because if your working out makes sense with a proof question like that, you must have got it right. Guys, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Talk to me in the chat. How did we find that one? Did that one make sense? Was that one super confusing? Let me know. Was there many people who didn't get that, but it made sense after I went through it? Because, guys, they're my favorite comments. You know that's why we're here. Matamba said wasn't too bad. Good to hear, Matamba. A lot of people are going to be saying that that question was horrible. Yeah, and I can't blame you guys for that. I can't blame you for that. Very difficult question there. Very difficult question. If, guys, you don't understand that part, don't let it stress you out. Don't panic. It was a very difficult question. To be honest, even if you're aiming for a grade 9 and you didn't get that, guys, don't let it stress you out. Difficult question there. And you guys can see on the chat, on the TikTok, that we've got some very mixed reviews. Everybody on the YouTube, what's going on with that? A said I'd still skip it. Just remember, A, divide it into those 6 triangles. Bonsai said, it wasn't the worst, but I'm definitely going to have to go over it again. Yep. Man like BP said, it's beautiful weather today. Yes, sir. Amadasium said, how do you get the equation for the larger hexagon? It's exactly the same as the equation for the smaller one, but we swap the x squared for, we swap the x for px, so we swap the x squared for px squared. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, that's so good to hear. We had some big progress. Guys, that was just the explanation written out again, but we're not going to worry about that. Question 20, and then, guys, we have just one question to go. To everybody who's saying thank you in the chat, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Alina said made sense, but was still hard. Yep, very difficult question. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was a difficult question. On the next page, we're on the final question, so 21A and B. We're not going to go through 21B. I can talk you guys through it briefly, but we're not going to worry too much about it because it's you know, you don't get questions like that very often, and it's a bit of an impractical question. So question 21B, we're just going to glimpse through, which means that, guys, we only have question 20 and question 21A to go, and then we are finished with our higher paper for the day. I'm going to give you guys, another, let's say 10 seconds for this one, and then I'm going to go through it. What's it going to be, guys? Looking at the chat, Maisie said, nearly there. Yep. NJ said, question 20 is harsh for 1 mark. You'll see, NJ. I think you'll be surprised, maybe. It's one of those that you either know or don't know, to be honest, guys. We're finding here the lowest common multiple of all of these numbers. The lowest common multiple of all of these numbers. Guys, what's it going to be? Our answer to this one is simply going to be 98 to the power of 91. 98 to the power of 91. Guys, why is our answer 98 to the power of 91? We're looking for the lowest common multiple of all of these numbers. The lowest common multiple of all of the numbers, that's the smallest number which all of the numbers go into. That's the smallest number which all of the numbers go into. So it's going to have to be at least the biggest number out of all of those. So it's going to have to be at least this one, which has the biggest power. Now, all of these go into 98 to the power of 91. We just have to keep multiplying by 98 to get there. So 98 to the power of 91 is going to be our answer to that one. That is the smallest number which all of the numbers go into. A little bit weird one to understand. Basically, all of those numbers have to go into 98 to the power of 91, and that is our biggest number in the list. So that is going to be our lowest common multiple. Guys, if your mind is boggled by that one, don't worry about it too much, to be honest. Don't worry about it too much. Bit of a weird one to understand. And again, we are right at the back end of this paper. Man like Vaid said, I get it now. Skibbity, skibbity, bop, bop. Well done, my friend. Guys, we're going to skip question 20B. I'll just talk you guys through the answer. It's a bit of a crazy question. 21A then, for most people, is going to be the final question of this paper. The final question of this paper. Don't worry, I will talk you guys through 21B. If you are interested, but most people aren't going to be interested. That's why we're going to skip it. And I know that you guys aren't going to be complaining about that. Okay, guys, 21A and B, our final 2 questions of the day before we have our party, our final party for a lot of people before paper 2. And I want to check if something's working. If I do that, nope, not working, okay? If I do that or that, nope, not working. Okay. Apple sometimes does this weird thing with the fireworks and stuff. So I wasn't just being weird and going like this. Question number 21. Guys, are we ready? A lot of people think that this one might be 4-3. Very common mistake, guys. Very common mistake. Pretty sure you have to hold your hands up for longer. Maybe you're just trying to bait me out. Let's see. Yeah, I think you're trying to bait me out. That's not working. Okay, question 21. Let's have a look. Guys, This one says that 5c plus d is equal to c plus 4d. We're asked to find the ratio of c to d. Guys, whenever you have a question like this, and they do come up a lot, don't worry, Carty. I know you. I know you. You thought it was actually. Don't worry. So questions like this come up a lot, guys. Whenever we get them, what do? We want to rearrange this to make one of our variables the subject. From there, it's going to be pretty easy to see what the ratio is. Rearranging. How we're going to do it, guys? We're going to move our d to the right-hand side and our c to the left-hand side. So we're going to start off by subtracting c from both sides, and we're also going to subtract d from both sides. Subtracting c and d from both sides, on the left we're going to have 4c, and on the right we're going to have 3d. The c's cancel out here, and you get 4d minus d is 3d, and the d's cancel out here, 5c minus c is 4c. Now to make c the subject, guys, we are going to divide both sides of our equation by 4. We're going to get that c is equal to 3/4 of d. Now that we have our equation in this form, guys, c is equal to 3/4 of d, what we can say is that when d is equal to 1, so c to d, when d is equal to 1, c is going to be 3/4. So c is equal to 3/4 of d, so when d is equal to 1, c is equal to 3/4. Then we could leave our answer like that if we want to. We could also kind of rewrite it, simplify it, multiply both sides by 4. We get that the ratio of c to d is 3:4. We get that the ratio of c to d is 3:4. Guys, the best way to do this is to firstly write out our equation like this, then to sub 1 in for our d, find what c is when d is 1, and then to multiply up from there. Guys, for most of you, the hard work is up now. I'm going to quickly talk you guys through this one here, and then we are going to have our party. I said skipping. I'll still talk you guys through it, though, because I know for some grade 9 students, you're going to be wanting to do this question, but even for grade 9 students, this one's a bit crazy. Guys, let's have a look. This one says 6x squared equals 7xy plus 20y squared, where x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0. We're asked to find the ratio x to y. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to start off by solving this equation for x and y. How can we solve this equation for x and y? We're going to move our 7xy and our 20y squared over to the left-hand side by subtracting them both. Then we have this expression here equals 0. We look at this expression, and we see that we have an x squared at the front, a y squared at the end, and we have an xy in the middle. To get the x squared, we're going to have an x at the front of the bracket and an x at the front of the bracket. To get the y squared, we're going to have the y at the end and the y at the end. And to get the 7xy, we're going to need a y here and an x here. So we have two terms. So this one and this one, which give us those xy's. What we do then, guys, is, to be honest, we use trial and error. A lot of people would recommend using a different super long method. I would recommend trial and error to factorize this, giving us 2x minus 5y times by 3x plus 4y equals 0. The reason that it's this, guys, is because 2x times by 3x gives us 6x squared. Then 2x times by 4y gives us 8xy, and minus 5y times 3x gives us minus 15xy. 8 minus 15 is minus 7, so we get minus 7xy, and then minus 5y times 4y gives us minus 20y squared. Where do we go from there, guys? Well, there's two solutions that make this equation correct. Either this bracket is equal to 0, or this bracket is equal to 0. When this bracket is equal to 0, 2x minus 5y is equal to 0. When this bracket is equal to 0, 3x plus 4y is equal to 0. That gives us two equations which we can solve, guys. We rearrange them. We get x equals 5 over 2y and x equals minus 4 over 3y. Now, we know that x and y are both greater than 0, which means that we can't have a negative relationship between the two, because then when one is positive, the other one's negative, and then vice versa. What does that mean, guys? It means that this has to be the equation which gives us our ratio. Based on this, guys, if x is equal to 5 over 2y, when y is equal to 1, x is going to be 5 over 2. Then to get our answer, if we want to write it in a different form, kind of a simplified form, we can times both sides of our equation by 2, and we get that the ratio of x to y is 5:2. Guys, That one I know was absolutely brutal. And I know most people probably just zoned out for a few moments, but I just wanted to explain that for anybody who was interested. That question was particularly brutal. Guys, 5 seconds to screenshot that page, and then we're going to end our session. I do have another live stream, or I am running another live stream later, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for anybody who's about to drop off. And then I'm also thinking about going live afterwards. I might even do 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. I might do another higher paper. Guys, I don't know. Actually, look, there's 600 people on the TikTok. There's 100 people on the YouTube. Guys, if you do want me to go live again after the foundation paper, it would probably be 9 till 11, or it would be 8:30 until 10:30. Drop me a DM. Make sure you drop me a DM. If you're on the YouTube, make sure you drop a comment on one of my, on the announcement post today. So drop a comment on the announcement post. I'm only going to do it if a lot of people are going to join. So I can't urge you enough, guys. People are blowing up the chats, to be fair, over on the TikTok and on the YouTube. If you do want me to do it, guys, make sure you drop me a DM or put a comment. I'm only going to do it if enough people are going to join. That would be after the foundation session, which is going to be 6 till 8. That would mean, guys, that I've gone live for 6 hours today, which is a little bit crazy, but we're feeling good. And you guys responded so well to this session. That if enough people are going to join, maybe we'll do another one. I don't want you guys to be too tired, so we'll probably make tonight's session a more chilled out one. But guys, if you are interested, make sure you drop me a DM or put a comment on the community post of the TikTok of the YouTube announcement that went out today, guys. However, let me say, that would be like a bonus. That would be like doing 2 past papers a day before your exam, which is absolutely wild. So if you're not joining later, don't worry. Don't let it stress you out. It's late at night. A lot of you guys are going to be tired. Don't feel like you're missing out. If you don't join that session, that's just going to be a bonus session, okay? That's going to be a bonus session. This is going to be in addition to the foundation session, which is going to be roughly 6 p.m. till 8 p.m., maybe a little bit before. I might go live a little bit earlier. Okay, however, guys, a lot of people won't be joining that session. You know what we do at the end of every single live stream? What do we do at the end of every past paper? Talk to me in the chat, guys. What do we do at the end of every past paper? I know there's a lot of new people on. A's coming in with the trophy emojis already. Shadow Plays says party. Vaid says party. Guys, that is exactly what we do. Another day, another past paper complete. Guys, take a moment to appreciate the work you're putting in. We are almost there with our GCSE Maths Paper 2 tomorrow. After that, guys, we're 2/3 of the way through, and that really is the final stretch. So the party, what does it mean, guys? It means that we are all going to spam the chats full of as many emojis as we can. We want disco emojis, dancer emojis, party emojis, 100 emojis, lightning emojis, fire emojis, ice emojis. Guys, let's see. I can see that the party on the TikTok is popping off. I can see that the party on the YouTube is going crazy as well. NJ in there with all of the lightning right on cue. Shadow Plays partying, Matumba partying, A partying with the lightning as well. Maria's got the 100 emojis out. B Broke Haven says, I'll be joining it, Matt. That's good to hear. Louise is partying. A's partying. Rickle Pick is partying with those crown emojis. Sakana is partying. Louise has got the fire out. Oppo is partying. Man like Fatma says, light work. Come on. NJ's got those rainy thunder emojis out. Javier Drake says, +1. I know number 1 here. That's good to see. Guys, super work today. I'm going to say, take a second. If you're lying in bed, you don't really have to move much. But if you're sitting on your desk chair, sit back in your chair. If you're on the sofa, sit back in the sofa. Guys, close your eyes. Take a moment. Take a deep breath. And just take a moment of appreciation for the fact that we're out here putting in the work. GCSE Maths Paper 2 is tomorrow. We're coming off the back of a fairly long half-term break. It would have actually, for some people, it would have felt super long. For some people, super short. And tomorrow, we get going again. Business starts again. And we're going to be doing our Paper 2 exams. So, take a moment. Appreciate the work you've been putting in. And know that it's all going to pay off in due course. If you're in the group of people who are here on the stream right now, then yeah, you're putting in the work, and you're gonna get what you deserve. Quaslington's still partying. Baybrook Haven's got the cool emojis out. Nofila's got a bunch of cool emojis out. Hey, La Continental, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Anosh. Anosh said, "I'm not partying. Maybe drop a little party emoji on right now." So, guys, I'm gonna say arrivederci for now. I'm gonna be back live at 6 p.m. and I'm gonna be going live 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. doing an edXL foundation paper. Guys, if you're doing higher and you just did that past paper with me, it could be great to join anyway. It means that you've got a community. It means that you've got a lot of people doing maths at the same time, you know, it makes it a lot less boring. And you can consider it like a chilled out session ahead of the next past paper session, which might be afterwards. So I need to decide, I need to confirm. It's going to depend a little bit on how many people DM me and how many comments I got, or get, I should say, or we get. You know, so yeah, it's going to depend, but you could join the foundation one anyway, just as a little bit of a more chilled out session. So yeah, feel more than free to do that. It'll be great to have a lot of you on. Radisson's partying, Charlotte 26 is partying, Javier Drake is partying. You guys are doing bits. You guys are doing bits. You're very welcome, Shadow. Hasta luego, my friend. And Jali says, thank you. You're very welcome. Bye, Nafila. Hey, Jenna Sheena, you're very welcome. Anosh says, partying now. Ollie's partying. Savannah, good to have you on this evening. I've not seen you in the chat yet because I've been mainly on the YouTube one today. So good to have you on. Hafsa, good to have you. A lot of the regulars on the TikTok as well. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to say, Tarun's saying, are these all the topics? I'm not sure what you mean by that, mate, but yeah, we're just doing past papers, basically. Just doing past papers because that's the best way to revise at this stage of the game. Charlotte 26 says, au revoir. Matumba, you're very welcome. Javier Drake, my pleasure. Guys, thank you very much to everybody who's joined today. Well done for putting in the work. And I will be back live in about an hour. So if you want to join then as well, feel more than free. It'll be good to have you. If I don't see any of you guys or you don't join before tomorrow, good luck. Go out, do your thing. You've been putting in the work. The hard part is done, or it will be done in a few hours. Guys, hasta luego, arrivederci, ciao, ciao, ciao. I'll catch a few of you next hour, a few of you later on. If I don't, good luck for tomorrow.